He didn't say, he didn't just shout it, he sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. Verse 10, and here it is. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. This isn't an act of love. This isn't an example of love. This isn't God in one moment showing us a slither or a slice of what it could be. This is love. And the next words are so crucial to getting this, to understanding in God's kingdom, in God's arena, what he means when he calls you and me to be the image of God. It's not that we loved him. It's not that we loved him. That is so crucial to this. God doesn't send his Son Jesus to come rescue us and to take the sacrifice upon himself and the weight and the wrath of sin upon himself in our place because we've been loving him. God, we love you, you mean so much to us. And so God, endeared by that, comes to rescue us. It's not that we loved him. We weren't loving him. In fact, we were ignoring him. That's when he demonstrates what love is by coming for us anyway. See, a lot of us, we're quick to say, well, I love my children, I love this person, in my heart, deep down, I love them, but see, it's conditioned. It's conditioned on, we are conditioned to view love as a feeling because of what's done for us or what's given to us. And God is introducing this concept that's, let's be real here, let's be honest, it's challenging. Loving people who don't deserve it. Loving not because what they do or how they make us feel, but because we see value in them. We see the potential of God's image in them. We live lives often going from one mountain peak to the next. One great date night, and man, it just was nice, and it was romantic, and it felt good, or one sweet card from our child, or one nice note, or one great vacation, or a really meaningful gift. The problem with the mountain peaks is that the bottom drops out at some point, and I don't mean in a negative, bad way. It's just you get back to work, you get back to real life, and sometimes we wish, man, that vacation was so great, we felt so close. Dinner 2 weeks ago was, how come we can't? And see, that's living love as a noun. I love when I feel, when you look into my eyes, when you communicate, and those things are meaningful. They are necessary for a growing relationship with a parent and a child, or a friend, or a neighbor, or even buddies at a football game. It doesn't come out the same way, but it's there. Those are meaningful, necessary components to a relationship. But it's not love. Love, according to God's standard, is when we purely see the potential and value in another person. We know they were made to be the image of God. And we want to give up something of ourselves to make that happen in them. Now we're getting somewhere. And see, our nature is to say, well, wait a minute, Brad, that sounds foolish to some degree. You're just going to give up something of value in your life for somebody who hasn't even shown they can love back? Yes. This is what you were made for. When we moved here to the Dulles area, we're from Northern Virginia, Amy and I both, all of our lives. But when we moved here close to the Dulles area to pastor, to start a church, we lived in Leesburg for a year, and then we bought a townhouse in this neighborhood in South Riding, and just the whole area was exciting. We would say we love it. People would say, hey, how do you like living in Eastern Loudon? We love it. We're in this neighborhood, South Riding. We love it. They're building a new Air and Space Museum. It's going to be the biggest museum in the country. This community, Brambleton, is going to be built. It's going to be really awesome. And so they're going to have a movie theater, all these things. The entrance of South Riding, we love. We say, oh, we love driving through the entrance. And so anything that's new, we easily relate to feeling. We feel love. And we would even say we love our neighborhood. We love our community. But then you live here a while. You live in the Dulles area a while. I learned in the first or second year that I lived here that the zip code 20152, I don't know if this is still true, this is 10 years ago. The zip code 20152 has more alcohol consumption than any zip code in Northern Virginia. Now, actually, okay, so that does sound funny, but it actually it was in a context of being a serious article about successful executives, leaders, and maybe an indicator, not just having a glass of wine at dinner, but it's an indicator of a lot of consumption. Then you start to see the warts and the dirt. You start to see what's behind Pleasantville, behind the Brambletons, behind the Stone Ridges, behind the Ashburns, the South Ridings, and you see hurt. You see ugliness. And you know what? This is where now I can really say I love this area. Not because of some entrance to a community or a movie theater is going to be built. I mean, give me a break. I love this area because of what we can become is the image of God. I was talking, we played the news clip that Loudoun County is considered the wealthiest county in the country now by the U.S. Census Bureau based on household incomes and all of that. You know what I said out of that is I don't feel pride in that. I feel opportunity. What if we could, in some way, give back to the world, to the third world, to poverty in a way that... See, that's why I love this area, not because we have a lot, but because of what we could become. We're not anything significant because of what's in our driveway. I mean, how foolish to think. I love this area because of what broken, hurting, dirty, messy people can become as the image of God because of Christ. Because of how Christ can remend and restore and rebuild and remake people. Okay, so just a couple things that the Apostle Paul says. We're going to look at some examples in Romans chapter 5 here. In Romans 5, now, I know we're getting close to the end of the message here. Stay with me because this is the crux of it. Now, Paul, as all the Bible writers talk about the love of God and this whole constant theme, Paul says this, but God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us. Yeah, Brad, you've been talking about it. You talked about on Easter. While we were still sinners, God sent his Son for us while we were broken in our own plan, our own choosing. Being a sinner doesn't mean you're a bad, awful person. It means you've chosen what is contrary to the glory, the image of God. In a conversation, the way you react to something, your thoughts, your actions, anything that we choose contrary to the image of God breaks us. It just leaves us in disrepair. We're fragmented versions of the image glory that we were made to be. This is really like the overarching message of Dulles Community Church. You'll probably hear me say something like this in every message I ever talk out. Because this is it. This is what it's all about. We were made to be the image of God. And sin set us on a trajectory of us being in disrepair and just fragmented versions of what God had in mind. And it leaves us in opposition to him. We don't have to be shaking our fist at heaven to be selfishly pursuing our own path, our own way, our own control. And while we were choosing what was different from God's glory, while we were still sinners,